hundreds of millions of kids in school in the developing world today. Estimates are that there's about 200 million children who are really struggling to even learn the most foundational skill, which is to read. For example, there's incredible data, shocking data, showing that, for example, in Uganda, the African country of Uganda, kids who are at grade 7, so they've finished primary school, they're in, lower secondary school, can barely read at a grade 2 level. Almost a quarter of kids in Uganda at grade 7 can barely read at a grade 2 level. This goes around the continent of Africa, in Latin America, in Asia. So kids are not learning foundational skills.
And then the third dimension is that many of these children are not getting educations that will prepare them for the jobs of today and tomorrow.
The third dimension of the learning crisis is really for those kids who actually end up being able to master foundational skills, progress on to higher education such as secondary school. They are not learning the relevant skills they need for their own lives and also for jobs and job opportunities. They're being trained in what really is an old way of doing education that was more suited to a colonial era that trains government bureaucrats, a few of them. And in fact, that's not where the job growth is. The job growth is in private sector enterprise, and you need critical thinking, teamwork, all sorts of transferable skills that they're not acquiring.
And what about educating girls in the developing world? Is there a barrier to this in some countries?
There's very high demand for education. It's just that there's a range of pressures on the family, and girls get the last straw. So, for example, if families who are very, very poor, one coping mechanism that they have is to marry their girls off. That gives them